Hi everyone. Okay, welcome to space. If you're new here, and welcome back if you're returning. Of course. Hi. Okay, so there's one little message that wants to come out. It's kind of a big message. And then we'll jump in your cards. You know, it's been a long time. It feels like a really long time, right, since it all began. And I just want to thank all of you for, well, I guess being in the same space and time. And thank you for your hard work and just putting in the work, being here, showing up, you know, being present, asking hard questions, answering hard questions, wanting to be more curious about what it is so we can find more peace in this present place, right? So thank you. And I hope that this reading is of service to you, and those who need it will find it. Okay? Alright, so you have a clear center point here. There's a clear center point here. It's clear, it's obvious what is in front of you. Like when you strip it all back, like that, the essence of what is underneath it, that comes through, that's coming through. It's like, I guess it's possible to have a kind of 180. Let's open up all your cards. Just a minute. The turtle's been very strong this month, this time frame. Turtle. Give me just a second, please. Well, let's try to start. I was starting from the center. But the thing is about starting from the center point is there's a lot of different points that come off of that, right? There's like so much going on that's connected to this center point that it's almost hard to be able to focus on just one thing. It's almost like something could feel scattered, or there's a need to, a contemplation to a direction, right? And then choosing. I mean, you can always backtrack to the center and then take the other one. But people like forward momentum, right? Makes them feel accomplished, makes them feel like they're not running in place or having to backtrack. Give me just a moment. Okay, some ideas are too fantastical, right? I mean, I guess that's what imagination is for, is it's almost like making the impossible, feeling the reality of a fantasy. I guess that's what imagination is for, is to pick up on what it feels like to be a part of something, even before you do or after the fact, right? When you imagine, then this again it puts you right back in the center of something. But because of that, again, it causes like it's almost like, where do I focus? Where do I focus? If you do have any big ideas right now, I see that it would also be wise to maybe keep some of those ideas to yourself until something is more developed. Because I saw the word discouragement, so it's almost like someone needs to come up with more answers to something to be able to not care whether someone else understands or not. Like, not worry about the... And there's an answer. It's like you can pass the quiz and you're not worried about it because you've already thought it all over. Who is there's a creative ally here. This could also be a person of your past that you find really inspiring. But it's almost like, where does creativity come from, though? Where does that come from? When or why is it made? When and why is it made? When the words are trying to come out, it feels so fast behind it. Even though once it gets here, it becomes this normal pace, but the inside, behind the words or behind that creation, it has like these... It's like the swan on the top of the water, but the feet underneath are doing so much. If it's been hard, let's see. I keep going back up into this this first card. We stayed there, and then we went straight down. Then we went back up, like forward, and then back, and then back. Now we're forward again. Maybe you're trying out these different paths. Okay, that's the thing. You don't have to go that far when it comes to these webs that are off of the place that you are. Again, use the imagination to think about it, visualize it, what have you, so you can even figure out what the feeling is behind it. Now, not all things are going to feel icy good. There's something about it that feels... Again, the pitter-patter of the feet. So I guess the feeling is becoming more sensitive, which means, or one's becoming more aware of their own nature, so they don't have to go as far to be able to figure out what the feeling is, which is going to determine whether to keep going forward or whether to back up into the center point. You know, you might have missed the little exit that was in between those two bushes that were kind of overlapping, right? Okay, let's move forward. Give me just a minute. Someone's wondering what to do. There are lots of options. Again, I hope we're not being redundant. There's lots of options here. Remember that. There's also a person in your life. Who is the people in your life that you ask their opinion and they're very open-minded. You know, they're kind of like, they can see all the different, some people are very one path focused, right? Whatever's in front of them, whatever feels good or what have you. So who is it that can see all the places? Because when it's too emotional, one's going to miss what they can see. Because the feeling becomes stronger. So I guess, again, it's a test of instinct. Because there is a little place in your heart right now that's kind of going through the graveyard, you know? Like you have to walk through something, you have to walk over something it's old. It's not, it's almost like you're coming across the place that's been there you're coming across, someone's going to have to walk through or be a part of something that was a part of something a long time ago. It's like a part of them, but it's not. It's like a reminder. There's a reminder. Now, in this place, in this place, you want to remember that you're safe and you're loved and you're protected as you go along. That you're powerful, that you're strong, that you are, you have courage. And you can use that, right? Courage is a feeling. It's more of a knowing, I guess, courage, isn't it, than a feeling? It's a knowing, which then creates the action. The forward momentum. Or even just the being in that moment to know that you have it. So that when you need to move or go, that you feel confident in that step. Right? Or you know when to pounce. And put the extra effort in, right, to get over something sometimes, right? You have to jump over the little pitfall, right? The little ravine. Like give it a little to make it happen, right? Now, there's something that's, something, how do I explain this? You want to make sure you're not overworking something. Try not to overwork something. Do you know what I mean? I think we need, one second. Remember, sometimes you have to protect yourself. Preserve yourself, right? Which is curing yourself so that it doesn't, there's no bacteria, there's no negative things growing in there that can make you sick, right? And there's a process to preserving, right? It has its correct steps, and then from there, then you can take that energy and be like, yep, I know that if I open this up at any point in time, this is going to be good for me, and there was a lot of love put into this, but you're not worried about whether it's going to spoil. But because of that, you have to make sure that things are clean, right? And I guess you are doing a bit of cleaning that is helping you to understand which way something. Again, the feeling of it when you walk down, it's like, okay, if you're going against it, you can only pet a snake one way. Okay. that down. It's like you have an opportunity to be able to, it's like you're taking, there's a 180 that's able to be done, or to, at least to be able to be perceived. A 180. From there, you can either, again, kind of backtrack and go exactly the way that you came, or you can choose to continue to move forward, understanding that every path sort of goes back into the center point. You know what I mean? Almost like how the stars make their patterns, right? But remember, you could only, I see again, someone petting a snake. It's like you go for, because otherwise it's going to get, it's like, or a fish, anything with scales, it's like you have to go, it goes one way. And I just saw a bunch of little circular links, all like perfectly connected with one another. One way to preserve your energy, too, is also to be really aware of what you're wearing or the stones that you have around you. Anything that, bones, stones, feathers, you want to pay attention to what these are. Remember, some things come to us for a certain amount of time. Not everything is forever. And if you want to keep it longer, because some things are meant to be longer, like certain paths, right? Then you have to clean it again. You have to clean to make sure that you don't burn yourself out either, because again, there's a lot of looking around in this time. There's a lot of having to really be aware of where you're walking and the feeling behind it. And there are going to be things a little bit from the past that could stir up and be like, whoa, okay. But remember, turtle. Turtle is sweet. Turtle is cute. Turtle is patient. If they're ever too scared, they are protected, even if they get rolled over. With their belly, you know, that vulnerable place exposed, they can flip themselves over. But there's no need to worry about that, because the only enemy within this, I guess, would be your own feeling about the past. The feeling about the past. It's okay, baby. Let me see if there's one more message. I see a lot of really hard work being put in here. For some of you, this is too much, especially if you're burnt out. You have to back up. You have to back up. Take something. Give yourself space. Pay a little bit more attention to that. Maybe this is taking some of those options or things that need to be done and figuring out your priorities, so that you ensure that the necessary things are being handled. The other parts, well, those are extra, right? You can do that later. There's nothing that can be done. The world is not made in a day, right? But I see great work, and because of that, I also see great success. But this is like it's like a slower success, and it's important and it's meant to be that way, so that the ego's in the right place, and it still gives an opportunity to be able to gather as you go along, so that you can create new feelings around imagination, which is helping to create courage in your heart, right? Sometimes we have to let go of the boat, but never you gotta let go of the boat sometimes and hang on to your courage. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this was of service. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. And yeah, I hope you have a great month or whenever you find this. And I'll talk to you next time. Peace.